Get this, honey, come on and get this. Honey, come on and get this. Honey, come on and get this. Honey, come on and come on, come on and come on, yeah. Come on and come on, 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 yeah. Come on and come on, come on and come on, come on. Yeah, I'm sweeter than some bubble gum. Hey. Get it jumping like double done. 5, 4, 3, 2, I've been number one. Chase bank account, I run the numbers up. See, I know how to get to the bank. G5, I jet lag. I link to the floor, Peter gonna be mad, but like you, I don't know the word. Shining, shining, gleaming. Diamond, diamond, no being and the assignment. Don't keep me from climbing. Honey, come on, show you how to get to the money. Come on and get this. Honey, come on, I show you how to get to the money. Come on, hey. I show you how to get to the money. Hey. I show you how to get to the money. Hey. Y'all here? Come on. Hey, come on. Hey. Let me turn it. I'm gonna get all in trouble trying to play the whole song. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm so sorry. Hey, come on. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? Hey, y'all know y'all like that song. Don't be hating. Happy Easter. What's up, y'all? Come on in the room. I see y'all. Who was first in this building? Vivian B, Puffy's mom. Oh my God. Okay, I see y'all. Ran, all the greens in the building. I see all my members are slowly coming in. Brina, Michelle. Some of y'all was in here early. Tanya. Okay, Rich Bitch. I see y'all. Simply D. Marley has joined the squad. Welcome Marley to the squad, y'all. Like, if you want to become a member of our exclusive club, the link is in the description box. You can also come over to Patreon. There's some other things we be doing over there, but that's besides the point. Today we are talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode 21. I was about to say season 21, child. Season 21. It seemed like we about the damn season 30. It's been a long time, child. This episode, a whole bunch of filler scenes, I guess. I don't know. The editors off. They had to put together what they could, and it's all good. I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of it. But, we kind of witnessed a lot of the things that's going on. And a lot of the receipts about Kenya's fake marriage was actually exposed in this episode. But I'm going to save that for a little while. You're going to have to watch it, towards the end, and I will let you know because I have the receipts. I got the receipts. Okay, let me stop. Because y'all already be all in y'all feelings and stuff. When I talk about, your faves, honey. When I talk about your faves. What's up, Jacqueline? I see you. Member in the club. Zakia, I see you. Okay, Princess AG, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Whew, child, it's just so. What happened on this episode? Let me think. First of all, we had all these different relationships going on because this is called moving up and moving on. So apparently all of the couples are having some issues. We got Porsha and Dennis having issues. We got Kandi and Todd having issues. We got Kenya and Mark having issues. We have Cynthia and Mike Hill having issues. We got Eva not having no issue. Well, Eva is having an issue actually with her sperm donor / baby daddy. And the only person that ain't having issues is who? Who is the only person who is not having issues? Oh my God. Is it Nene Leakes? The one everybody try to drag all the time? She is the only person who is not having relationship problems. Could it be because she has been married for 23 years and she is celebrating her anniversary on the show? They dropped her new song on the show. honey, clearly Bravo loves Nene. Bravo is like, Nene, you ain't going nowhere, honey. We gonna promote your song just like we promoted Tardy for the trailer park. When Kim stole the song from Kandi and they had used it for Kim's theme song, and Kim had to eventually pay Kandi. Well, actually, Bravo eventually paid Kandi, and that's why Kandi didn't raise too much of a stink. But again, I digress. Y'all gonna be like, oh, you going in on Kandi? You going in on Kandi? I ain't going in on nobody. I'm just spitting facts. You said Nene laid those roses out, honey. Gregg and Doggy grown folks relationship, it was too much. I'm like, Gregg motorboating up under the covers and stuff. I did not want to hear that, and I did not want to see it. But it was like, Mom and Dad, no. But I love Nene and Gregg because they are the couple that most of these couples aspire to be, even though that's all we saw them this episode. I guess Gregg moved slow. They was having sex the entire episode. They didn't have time to film with all these drama-filled women in their relationships. So let's start at the bottom and go up. Oh, so shady. Let's start at the bottom and go up. Who is at the bottom? Let me see. Hold on. I got a whole little list of people in here, child. Who is at the bottom? Oh, okay. Y'all already know who is at the bottom of the totem pole. Let me share this little screen right here because I'm going to show some receipts about your queen, Kenya. I know all y'all Team Twirl is in here, but we're going to get there. So let's go ahead and talk about Eva. Eva has moved into her dream house finally. She has stopped moving from apartment to apartment. We done seen them pack up everything. We done heard the bridesmaid tell all her business, talking about she lived in a house over by East Lake and this, that, and the third. And, Eva paying rent. Eva claims she keep moving because her baby daddy is stalking her. Meanwhile, Eva sits with Cynthia in her new house. We get to see Eva's new house, which we've seen already on the drone tour. Shout out to the drone tour. If you haven't seen it, it's on here. It's called Kenya Moore's Moldy Manor Exposed. I'll put the link up there after the stream. But, we get to see the inside of Eva's new abode. Okay. And, her children are adorable. She has 2 kids by Michael Sterling. She pressed that pregnancy out this season. She even pretended she was going in labor at Nene's leopard brunch so that she could get Cynthia to leave with her and they would have to give Nene a moment. Let me put my hand sanitizer on. Hold on. Put me some hand sanitizer. I forgot I've been outside. So when Eva and Cynthia sat down to talk about it, Eva tells Cynthia that her sperm donor is seeking, to change her daughter's name back. Now, you remember when Eva had a whole scene. That was about the extent of her storyline this season. I don't even know why I'm giving her this much time. Perhaps I'm just, waiting till y'all get in here. I'm wasting time. But Eva, actually, at the beginning of the season, her and Michael Sterling went to court to change her daughter's name to Sterling because she wanted all her kids to have the same last name. Despite, it's like bump what the daddy think. He ain't giving us no money anyway. He ain't providing support. He's just a sperm donor. We don't care. But apparently he cared because he's been filing all these documents trying to get, his parental rights restored, trying to get her name back, trying to get custody. Hell, he even asked for child support. Kevin McCall is doing bad, real bad. I mean, I'm just saying, he ain't getting the money he used to get, clearly, which is what drew Eva to him in the first place. But he's just not getting it. So, Eva seems surprised. And, what I found interesting about that scene is for the first time, Eva actually mentions his name. She said, and I quote, "I've come to the realization that Kevin is crazy." And she mentioned that man's name. Now, if I was Kevin, if I was you, I would be calling up my lawyer. Well, I know one of them fired you because you couldn't afford to pay her. But I mean, I would find me a lawyer that would work on a contingency or something, and I would sue. I'm just saying, how somebody gonna call you crazy on the thing? Oh, my damn phone is typing what I talk. How is somebody gonna call you crazy to the public without no receipts? I'm just saying, don't be saying your name and that was a bit much. You take intermission. Sorry. Well, you know, this, you can consider this an intermission, child. You can consider an intermission. As y'all are just getting here, go ahead and like this video, please, and thank you. Now, moving on to the next at the bottom. Hold on, who is next at the bottom? Let's see. Hold on. Look, I'm not even putting her in here. I put her sister in here. So, Cynthia Bailey. That's Cynthia Bailey's sister, by the way. Cynthia Bailey's sister Mallory has, you know, took over Cynthia's hairstyle. So I was confused. I was like, which one is Cynthia? Did Cynthia have that hair last week? Did Cynthia have that hair in Greece? But, you know, again, I digress. Mallory thought it was cute, so she got the same hairstyle. So Mallory apparently is the manager of the Bailey wine cellar. And Cynthia is trying to get to the money. So Cynthia is like, look, you know, we got all these people who want to have parties here. I'm trying to utilize it to the best of my ability. I'm on this show, and you know, people want to be associated with this show. So they trying to rent this space so they can take their selfies on Instagram, and we got to get all the money we can. And Mallory's like, we are closed on Wednesdays. We are closed on Wednesday. So, I mean, and Cynthia was like, no, we need to be open on every day. We need whatever time they want. We need to accommodate them. And Mallory was like, well, look, I get 2 days a week off. Isn't that a labor law or something? Like, now you telling me that I can't have Saturdays and Wednesdays off? Like, what the hell? So, he said Mallory did not look like her IG pics. Oh, y'all so shady. You know, Cynthia seems to feel some kind of way because Cynthia is like, you know, I'm the boss. You know, whatever I say goes. But Mallory was like, well, if that's the case, you need to change the signs on the door, because the signs on the door said we close on Wednesdays. And until you change it and until you offer me a little bit more pay and compensation, we closed on Wednesdays. Meanwhile, they also discussed Noelle living with Mike Hill. Now, you will remember that there was a big to-do over, you know, a couple of months ago about Noelle living with Mike Hill, while Cynthia had never lived with Mike Hill. So everybody was like, what the hell is going on with Cynthia? Well, she will allow her barely out of high school daughter to go live with her long distance love. Like, you haven't even lived with her. Why would you, you know, allow your daughter? Well, Cynthia seems to feel that Noelle has more opportunities in LA, because Noelle wants to be an actor. Noelle wants it all. Noelle wants to have wants a YouTube channel. Noelle wants to be an influencer. Noelle, I guess, is a millennial. She doesn't feel like she needs to work. She doesn't want to go to college. She doesn't want to do anything. And Cynthia was like, okay, you know, college gonna be there. I guess your dreams won't. I guess your dreams won't be there. So she chose her dreams over the college. And so she let Noelle do what she do. Meanwhile, Mallory is pretty much saying, you know, you need to decide what you're gonna do, Cynthia, because apparently, you know, Cynthia's still living in Atlanta. She's on the Atlanta Housewives. How can she live in LA and move to California if she's gonna be on the Housewives? That wouldn't fit. Like, she can't be an Atlanta housewife and living in California. So, you know, I'm like, well, Cynthia needs to go. We already been voted Cynthia out 3 seasons in a row. If you go on YouTube and search for it, people that already been reported that she was fired 2 seasons ago, but she's still there. So apparently, you know, everybody wants Cynthia gone, and Cynthia wants this check, so she is not going anyway. And Mike Hill, by the way, if you watch my video from last night, Mike Hill is an official peach holder. Y'all be talking about Peter needs a peach. Mike Hill needs a peach, honey, because he is stirring the pot. He was on Fox Soul talking to Kenya. But again, you have to watch that other video for that, and I'll put the link down below or up there, later. But yeah, so we're kind of feeling some kind of way about Cynthia. You say Andy loves Cynthia financing Noelle. Atlanta is actually the Black Hollywood. That's what I would think. She would have more opportunities in Atlanta, but Cynthia did reveal, you know, she was trying out for the Salt and Pepper documentary or something. And I'm like, did she get it? Because we haven't heard a thing, and this was months ago. But again, you said Mike Hill is now Michelle Hill. Y'all are so funny. Okay, but again, there's that. So we trying to figure out what Cynthia gonna do with this relationship that, you know, we've been giving the side eye all along anyway. And now that they quarantine, I guess she done found time to go and hang out with her daughter and all of them. So there's the next relationship issue. Now the third is The third is, and she's more of a favorite. She's more, I would consider her a favorite, is Porsha and Dennis. Now, Porsha and Dennis, if you recall, they've been going through it. People have been reporting that, they broke up, they back together. Porsha kicked them out. Dennis, people that even made lies up about Dennis screwing animals. All kind of stuff be coming out because they was loving to hate Porsha, and Porsha was living for the rumors. I'm gonna tell you this: Porsha was living for those rumors, because what that did was validate her to Bravo. She got a little spinoff. Porsha's having a baby, and now they working on Porsha's getting married. But I mean, according to Dennis don't want that. Dennis said he ain't trying to get married. He already got the baby. He's part-time at Porsha's house since she made him take all his things out. Because remember, Dennis had the basement on lock. He had everything: his clothes, his jeans, his jewelry, his fitted caps, his sneakers. He had everything in the basement. And I guess, when he was busted cheating or whatever, Porsha kicked him out since it's her house. But then they got counseling. Then he came back. Y'all know how relationships go. You go back, you go forth, you go back and forth. You love each other, you make up, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, they never really particularly broke up. They still together. They just get this money situation together. Because what man want to move into his lady home? I get it. Porsha, then worked hard. They got a big, lovely mansion, right around the corner from Nene. But don't no man want to live in their girlfriend house. Like, they need a house that's theirs instead of a house that's just hers. And in getting married, I particularly agree with Dennis, because I feel like they do need to go ahead and work. If y'all gonna work on a prenup, if y'all didn't agree on a prenup, I wouldn't get a prenup, because I want all the money. I want your money and my money too. And that's probably how Porsha feels. But if Porsha gonna sit there and kick Dennis out the house every single time she gets upset, now this man, like, I don't even have a home. Like, what the hell? Like, is this ours or is this yours? So they do need to work out some things. They need to go back to counseling. They need to talk it out. They need to figure it out, because clearly they ain't going nowhere. Baby Pilar was just sitting there. Look, the baby wasn't even crying in the midst of this discussion / argument, because she was like, I done heard it all before, child. She has heard it all before. You said Dennis had his hot dogs in the basement. And speaking of which, Porsha said the hot dog man can't have no cookies, honey. She done made her some Toll House cookies in the quarantine. Well, they weren't in the quarantine back then, but she said you can't have none of these cookies or none of my cookies either till you get your shit together. You need to figure this out. We got to get married. And meanwhile, Dennis was like, well, if we get married, I guess you're going to pay for it, because it's your house and it's your wedding too. But again, I digress. Now, who's next? Who is next? Let me see. Let me go on to mom and dad, to the OGs, honey. Mom and dad. Nene and Gregg. We already talked about it. They celebrating their 23rd anniversary. 23 years is a long time. Hold on, honey can get it too. Hey, honey. I really like this song. So Bravo played Nene's song while they were celebrating. Did I turn it down? Come on and come on, 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 come on and come on. Yeah, I'm sweeter than some bubblegum. Y'all know y'all ain't tired of that song. But anyway, Nene, Gregg popping champagne, Nene giggling like a little school girl. They looking all cute. She got her lingerie on. Gregg like, model for me, baby. They admit that they was having struggles in their marriage while he was going through chemo and cancer. Gregg had, said he had been sleeping downstairs because he couldn't make it upstairs. Nene said that, it was important to keep them apart because she didn't want to be affected by the radiation. It was a lot going on. And clearly, they made it through. They've been through 23 years, through love, marriage, divorce, sickness, health, babies, she got Brent and Bryson, but Bryson got a gazillion kids, baby mama drama, all of that. Gregg got kids. They got a blended family. So, they made it work and they still together. So how can y'all hate on that? Who can hate on that? Then you got Kenya Moore sitting up trying to drag them. How is that possible? I'm still confused. I am so confused. Meanwhile, let's move on. we already know Nene and Gregg are, the prototype when it comes to relationships, I guess, on this show, because, that's why they dance. They dancing on. They was like, yes, let's twirl on them. They was like, let's twirl on all these fake relationships and these bad marriages and things. Speaking of bad marriages, and I won't even call them a bad marriage. I will not even call them a bad marriage. Todd and Kandi. Todd and Kandi are going through it. Kandi then went and talked to Kenya about it. And what I didn't like, and I don't even have that picture in here, so I'm gonna start there. When Kandi went to have a conversation with Kenya with her little plaid two-piece Fashion Nova outfit on, Kandi told Kenya, that, she was having problems. She didn't like, the way things were going. They having trouble communicating and talking to each other. Kenya had told, Kandi, she was like, not my Todd. I told you to leave my Todd alone. And when you think about that, it's like Kenya always saying some inappropriate things to these husbands. What is up with that? I don't understand. She said something inappropriate. Who was it she said it to? Was it Michael Sterling at the gala? She said something to him. She just, asked Apollo for a threesome. She didn't say stuff about Cordell back in the day. She didn't talk, like, it's like always something she has to say that's really kind of inappropriate, and you have to give her the side eye. But her and Kandi are friends, so I guess if Kandi don't mind, we shouldn't mind either. And so, that was interesting, not that we really care. We already know they're in an alliance, and, they talking about each other's relationships. We already know Kenya feels that Mark Daly speaks to her any kind of way. She revealed that she had blocked Mark on the phone. Like, here's my issue. Here's what I don't understand. How are you going to block Mark and then say, I'm not going to talk to him till he learn how to talk to me? Well, how can he talk to you if he can't get through? And personally, I don't even think he's trying to call. I don't even think he's trying to call. But Kenya also, revealed, last week that, she was prohibited from speaking with his mom and dad, and this week she reiterated that when in a scene with Cynthia. Now let's go ahead and talk about, thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining the squad. Let's go ahead and talk about this closet scene. Now Kenya was in Mark Daly's closet in her house with all of his clothes. Kenya says the smell of his cologne reminds her of him. She don't know what to do. The movers are coming to get all of his things. She doesn't want to see it. Meanwhile, Cynthia was like, well, I don't understand. He should be here. I'm going to cut off all his shirts and all of this. Now, I don't know about you, but Kenya, there was so many receipts on all them clothes. Kenya then went out and bought. Kenya then went out and bought a whole bunch of pants. Kenya went out and bought pants and shirts. She probably went to the thrift store to fill up the closet with all kind of things just for this scene. Now she packing them up to send it back to the thrift store. What? Do y'all see these receipts? Look at the receipts hanging off these pants she folding up. Now, I'm just like Cynthia, because Cynthia even said, when did he get all these clothes? I didn't know he was even here that much. And we already know that he wasn't, because the last time when he was here for the gala, he was asking Kenya to buy him a tie, to buy him some clothes, to buy him a suit, to buy him some shoes. So if he had all those clothes in the closet, why was Kenya out shopping for one outfit for the taping? I'm confused. I'm so confused. Team Twirl, can y'all explain this to me? I don't understand this fake relationship. I don't understand. The man has never lived in Atlanta. The man still live in New York. Kenya lives in Atlanta. It's like, that's why her and Cynthia get along so well, because Cynthia and Mike and Kenya and Mark, they pretty much the same thing. They pretty much the same thing. Cynthia already know that if she is going to stay on this show, she is never going to move to California. That's a given if she is going to stay on this show. Now, if this relationship was real, Cynthia would have been gone. But clearly, she is not. Shout out to Hilda Hart's a new member to the channel. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I mean, I'm just dazed and confused about, you know, these receipts. But you know, we already knew that, you know, Kenya and Mark aren't married. That is merely her sperm donor. And you know, to piggyback off of that, we know he's her sperm donor because he won't even allow the damn parents to meet the baby. Like, what, like, how does that work? Can somebody explain that to me? Like, he, you know, gave us sperm, they produced a baby. Now the baby, you know, he comes and like say, hey, Google Gaga to baby Brooklyn, but you don't introduce the baby to any of your family, the mom and dad, and Kenya is okay with that if this was a real relationship. So clearly it's not a real relationship. But again, I digress. The ending scene this week was, and you already know, the ending scene this week was Kandi and Todd. Kandi and Todd have been going through their reported marital issues. They say, you know, Kandi feels some kind of way because, well, Todd feels some kind of way because every time Kandi comes home from all of her excursions and events, and you know, Candace's an entrepreneur, she's trying to get all the money. Every time she leaves, she comes back and she is booked to the hilt. They never have any quality time, so they meet with Machel, Machel, I think that's how you spell his name, and Machel, not Michael, a counselor who was referred to Kandi by one of her friends. I don't know which one, but you know, he says he specializes in couples who are having problems communicating. So they sit down, they talk to him for a little while, they explain everything. And what I found out about this scene, Kandi had a whole lot to say, and Todd said pretty much nothing at the beginning. So, you know, Kandi was telling him, you know, we got 3 kids and 1 on the way. We, you know, we love each other. We just trying to make it work. I work a lot. He work a lot. And, you know, and she was just giving him the rundown. Meanwhile, Todd is just sitting there. Todd ain't, you know, and he ain't giving no amen corner. He ain't saying nothing. He's just really quiet. So, you know, the counselor asked Kandi, well, are you happy? Are things going well? And Kandi was like, yeah, I'm happy, but I just want things to be better or whatever. But she's not offering any alternatives, any solutions to things that she can make better. So the counselor, which, you know, I could give him props for, he pulls Todd into the conversation. Like, Todd, how do you feel? Like, you know, let's hear from Todd. And what Todd had a whole lot to say then, because he was like, look, we are great business partners. It's like, oh, hold on. Y'all great business partners. But he said the relationship is struggling. So clearly they all know how to make a dollar. They know how to create businesses. They know how to partner together, and they can work together well. However, you know, it seems that, you know, in the bedroom, it's just hit it and quit it. Let's just satisfy each other and it's done. And Kandi, who is the queen of the sex toys, that's surprising. So Todd also admits that Kandi's absence is affecting the kids, or at least one of them, because at that point, baby Blaze had not been born. He said Ace would wake up at 4 a.m. and come into the bedroom asking where's mommy, and mommy is never there. So there's that. Then you got Kandi crying. Okay, but she always cries. So that's going to be like the gist of, I guess, their drama. And I guess that's going to lead into another Kandi spinoff, or perhaps it's going to lead into like the OLG gang. And maybe, I don't know, we're going to see some, I don't know what's going to happen. But next week we get to see the baby shower, and there's going to be some drama. Apparently Nene and Kenya going to bump heads. Porsha gonna come to the light and call out Kenya for being, so nasty and so rude. Another little scene that they had showed that, it's clearly drawn lines in the sand. Now it's us against them. It's Nene and Porsha and whoever else versus Kenya and Kandi and Cynthia. So we've already known that. They've been saying it all year that there was an alliance over there. Now there's finally an alliance over here. So we get to see what we see. So let me hear from you guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and all that. I would love to hear from any of you. If you would like to, let me put an invite link in here. If you would like to join me on the stream and give me a little bit, let's keep it short. Let's keep it to about 2 or 3 minutes a piece. I like you to get your point across, but don't take up all the time from everybody. I just put the link in the chat. If you have a phone, you can click the link on the StreamYard. You can actually turn your camera off if you don't feel comfortable being on camera, and we can just hear your voice. But let me hear what you have to say. You said Todd need Kandi to be home when she ain't working so he can see his boo. That him and T.I. fighting. Oh, child, y'all be dropping. Oh, child, what? Kandi's daughter was right. Little Ace was crying, missing his mom. Okay. Oh, another thing that Todd spoke about was his daughter, Kayla. Kandi admitted that she wanted to give Kayla money, and Todd was like, no, she's 20-something years old. She needs to, learn how to, be on her own. And so Kandi felt some kind of way about that because clearly she gives Riley everything she wants without her having to work for it. And Todd is of the mindset of he feels like, the kids should have something to strive for and not just give them everything. So that's another issue with them as a couple that they're going to have to work out. Shout out to Melissa Burnett. I appreciate you. You said you forgot. I hate you guys. Y'all are so funny. Todd is odd with his daughter. Why did she get another baby when she is never home? I don't know. That's between her and Todd, honey. That's between her and Todd. Hold on, let me change my background. But that's all I have for this episode. It was decent. I would say it was decent. I appreciated it for what it was worth, sitting at home on Easter watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hold on. Come on and get this. Hey, come on and get this. Todd don't want Kandi giving Kayla money because he doesn't want it thrown in his face when they get into it. Ooh, just like Dennis. Like he doesn't want it thrown in his face that he's living in Porsha's house. I can understand that. Peter Thomas made an interesting point about how the Real Housewives of Atlanta always try to make it seem like the men are leaning on the women, even if they aren't. We already know that Dennis has a thriving business. He has several businesses actually. And, with him living with Porsha, like, he doesn't want to be seen as, moving in and living off of Porsha's Real Housewives money. And I can understand that from a male perspective. I'm not a male, but I can understand it. Todd living rent-free. See, that's what they don't want. That is exactly what they don't want. Don't you think?
On and get this, honey. Come on and get this.
Then Kenya pay Mark's debt off. Oh, child, that's what the streets say. That's what I read on Straight from the A, that Kenya paid off Mark's tax debt. That's what I heard. And that, and all of these different little receipts, all of these things that are coming out, kind of, I don't know about you, Team Twirl. I know y'all out there watching because y'all always watching. But how can you deny all of this now? Like, the receipts on the pants in the closet. She folded up all these clothes. It's clear he don't live there or he's never worn these clothes. She can't talk to the parents. Baby Brooklyn has never met the parents. Like, how can you deny that he was merely just agreeable to give her his sperm for this baby? She wanted a baby. She got the baby. It is what it is. Dennis has his own. Todd was 100 there, according to my chest.